other business news now, and Beijing retailers are no longer allowed to give out rebate coupons. Large stores and malls often hold promotions offering rebate coupons to customers for spending a certain amount, but this will have to stop as of June the 1st. The Beijing Municipal Bureau of Commerce released a new regulation on Tuesday, and the local business regulator says that these kind of promotions often draw large crowds of people and pose potential public security risks. The regulation also asks retailers to report to the Bureau 7 days ahead of any promotions that last more than 16 hours. Businesses could be fined up to 10,000 yuan for ignoring the new rules. Now to the aviation sector, and paper airplane tickets will soon be just a distant memory. The International Air Transport Association says that paper airline tickets will be dropped as of June the 1st or this coming Sunday as well, just like the rebates. Now, domestic airlines say that one e-ticket can save more than 20 yuan or about $2.88 compared with a paper ticket in terms of printing, sales, and transportation costs. Well, currently in China, 99% of domestic flights already use e-ticketing, while most IATA airlines have already dropped paper in favor of electronic tickets. Well, all the more for helping the environment there. Now, China Southern Airlines and Hainan Airlines say that they will raise fuel surcharges on international routes by a hefty 33% effective June the 1st. This is to offset pressure of oil price increases. The levy will increase from 600 yuan to 800 yuan per passenger flying between the Chinese mainland and Europe, the United States, Africa, and the Middle East. This is the second increase since January the 1st, when domestic airlines raised the surcharges by 30% at that time as well. Higher fuel prices have also caused foreign carriers, including Canadian Airlines, British Airways, and Lufthansa, to increase their fuel surcharges. Turning to the banking sector now, and Hong Kong's Bank of East Asia is in the spotlight. It has become the first overseas bank to issue yuan-denominated debit cards on the Chinese mainland. Qi Tianqing brings us the details.
Bank of East Asia signed a strategic cooperative agreement with China UnionPay on Tuesday afternoon, making itself the first overseas lender to issue yuan-denominated debit card in the mainland. The bank has issued 3 kinds of cards. All of them can operate at any ATM machine and point-of-sales terminal with China UnionPay marks.
There are 3 cards, depending on your relationship with the bank and depending on how much deposit you deposit to your account. And the premium one is basically the platinum card. The second one is the gold card, the Supreme Gold card. And the normal card is the Bohemian card, that is the Hong Kong flower card.
Foreign banks are required under Chinese rules to locate IT support and data centers for card operations in the mainland city rather than operating via offshore data centers. BEA says its data center for the card business is based in Shenzhen. Only locally incorporated banks are allowed to apply to issue debit cards in the mainland. Foreign banks are otherwise limited to issuing co-branded credit cards through local partners. Statistics show more and more Chinese consumers are using bank cards, with retail sales paid by credit and debit cards surging 58% last year to nearly 3 trillion yuan. Other foreign banks who have successfully locally incorporated have also applied to issue local debit cards. They include HSBC, Standard Chartered, and Citigroup. All are hoping to tap China's rapidly growing economy and spending power. Qi Tianxing, CCTV.
Time now to take a very quick look at some other corporate news from across the country. And SK Telecom says it has agreed to join a consortium investing $1 billion in the construction of a Beijing development center. Well, the complex will research and design digital content and technology. The South Korean firm has signed an initial agreement with the Chinese government to establish the complex together with other subsidiaries of the SK Group. Meanwhile, there was little interest in the first overseas fund launched by China's Yinhua Fund Management. It attracted just $60 million, and that was far below the maximum of $2 billion the fund intended to raise. Slumping global equities and a strong yuan continued to deter Chinese portfolio investment abroad. And the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, that's the country's largest lender, said on Tuesday that it had won approval from Australian financial regulators to establish a branch in Sydney. ICBC says it wants its overseas business to eventually account for some 10% of total revenues compared to the current 3%. Well, you are watching Biz China on CCTV International. Coming up next is our market report, so please don't go away.
Experts say that
Watch Biz China and make China business your business. Biz China, only on CCTV International.
Welcome back to Market News Now, and U.S. stocks rose on Tuesday, led by Apple and other technology bellwethers. Investors are betting that a sharp drop in oil prices will help shore up consumer and business spending. Well, for more details, here's Reuters correspondent in New York.
Of a holiday-shortened trading week, U.S. markets set out to shake off last week's lackluster tone. By the close, the Dow packed on 68 points, the S&P 500 added 9, and the Nasdaq was the standout, adding 36 points, or about 1.5%. Airlines were the high flyers Tuesday, the major carriers getting a boost from a slide in oil prices after the recent steep run-up. Continental Airlines added nearly 5%. AMR, the parent company of American Airlines, posted an 8% gain, and Delta rose 7.6%. Investors also moved into shares of tech leaders Apple and Google. Both gained close to 3% at the close. Meantime, at the NYMEX, crude oil fell more than $2 a barrel on a stronger U.S. dollar. Light sweet crude settled the day below $129 a barrel. In economic news, consumer confidence sank to its lowest level in 16 years as rising gas prices and falling home prices weighed on consumers. Meanwhile, prices of single-family homes sank over 14% in the first quarter. That's according to the Standard & Poor's Case-Shiller Index. But a surprise on the new home sales front. Data from the U.S. Commerce Department showed that sales rose over 3% in April. It's the first increase in new home sales since October. Across the Atlantic, European markets were a mixed bag. Concerns about inflation weighed on the major averages there. By the close, the DAX posted a slim gain, up less than 0.1%, while the CAC and London's FTSE both fell less than 1% for the day. Diane King, Reuters, New York.
Well, coming back to the region, and Japan's Nikkei average slipped 0.4% on Wednesday as oil's fall from record highs pressured commodity-linked shares. The benchmark Nikkei average fell 56 points to end the morning session at 13,836 points after advancing 1.5% the previous day. The broader Topix index shed 0.5% to 1,361. Now, JFE Holdings rose 1.9%. Nomura Securities raised its ratings on the world's third biggest steelmaker to buy from neutral, saying that domestic and export product prices are rising more than expected. Meanwhile, Oil Explorer, Japan Petroleum Exploration, and other oil-related stocks slid as the price of crude oil continues to fall back. It's now trading at around $128 after topping $135 last week. Oil was hit by a rebound in the dollar against the euro after data showed an unexpected rise in U.S. new home sales in April and deterioration in French business confidence. A very quick look at the figures this hour. You can see that the Nikkei 225 is down 0.4%. South Korean Seoul Composite is down 0.6%. The Straits Times is actually up 0.5%. Turning to Hong Kong, and stocks there opened 0.3% lower on Wednesday after oil and gas producer CNOOC dropped as crude prices fell on a strong U.S. dollar. While the benchmark Hang Seng opened at 24,209 points, the China Enterprise Index of Hong Kong listed shares in mainland companies, or H shares, opened down 0.4% at 13,275. Now, for stocks to watch in today's market, we have Bank of America. It said on Tuesday that it would exercise part of an option to buy shares of China Construction Bank, investing 14.5 billion Hong Kong dollars. This would raise its stake in the mainland's second largest bank to 10.75%. Meanwhile, China Power International Development said that it's planned to buy a 63% stake in hydropower producer Wuling Power. The move would enlarge its operational scale to boost capacity and enter into new markets in Hunan and Guizhou provinces on the Chinese mainland. And Shentak Holdings, with interests ranging from property to transportation, said that it would buy the development rights to a vacant site in Macau's Namvan. The 3.15 billion Hong Kong dollar deal will be financed by international resources and banking facilities. Quick look at the Hong Kong numbers for you. The Hang Seng basically flat at this point. Its shares up about 0.25%, and the red chips down almost 1%. Very quick look at how the Chinese mainland stocks are doing at this hour as well. You can see their positive territory. Shanghai Composite is up 0.33%. And B shares are also doing quite well, especially in Shanghai. That is up almost 2%. And overall, the large cap index is up about 0.5%. That is a wrap for this edition of BizChina on CCTV International. And for some of you, as for many of you, this actually may be the last time that you will see me on this show. I am actually leaving BizChina to pursue some personal stuff. But really want to thank you for having watched me, and I've certainly enjoyed bringing you the news. Hope you've learned something from me. Hope you've enjoyed the shows that I've been bringing you. Really want to thank you for your time, for your hospitality, and all the emails that I've gotten really has meant a lot to me. Thank you very much for watching this show, and hope you'll continue watching the show. We have a new anchor joining us soon. I'm sure she'll do great. Thank you very much, and hope to see you again, who knows, sometime in the future. Goodbye for now.